attend West Point. His father, Jeff, played football at Army. His brother, Connor, played sprint football at Army as well. Now Quinn playing lacrosse, getting inside, turnaround shot. That is good offense. One-on-one effort from Brendan Nichtern. Cuts it 2-1.
Well, it started with the two-man game behind, and Army played it well. Loyola didn't play it as well as they would like, and it ended up with Hughes now on Nichtern, which is not the optimal matchup for Loyola. Hughes doesn't do a bad job, but a bit of separation right there gives Nichtern the opportunity to get topside high. And quite frankly, he's world-class. High expectations for. He's very athletic. He's someone that I think just needs to get more comfortable playing at this level. And when he does, it'll be a big advantage for Loyola.
Kamish steps into one, and he drops a bomb.
A bomb is a great way to describe it, Glenn, but it seems like we see this from Kamish every week now, right? Now, usually it's when he's going up against a short stick defender. Here, it looks like it's just confusion by the Army defense as to who's taking whom. And when he gets his hands free, Glenn, he's one of the better shooters in the country.
He's a shooter. There's no question about that. Shooter!
So here you see it right here. Just some confusion as who's taking whom. And all he needs is just that small crease to get his hands free. And he knows.
We're not on the same page.
This just has not been a great series defensively for Loyola. You had McGillicuddy, who played way out on Abshire and literally got turned around to create offense for Army. And then you see the bad clear. And there you go. When you let a team like Army off the hook, so instead of having a potentially long possession offensively, you give the ball back to Army because of a lack of concentration and execution. And teams at that caliber, Glenn, are going to convert more times than not.
Burick's first of the day, his 12th of the season. Nichtern
causes two people to come to the ball. Hughes is late on the slide.
Trying to get things going offensively. Patra thinking about it, now drops it down to Evan James. I feel like this has kind of been the story for Loyola this season. There are, like the second half last week against Bucknell, they're clicking on all cylinders. They just sort of have stretches where it's not working. Oh, great feed in front, however.
What was that?
Yeah, right.
What was that, Glenn?
Yeah, they had it working there.
I mean, what
Slam
a pass
dunk
there from Davis Lindsay. I thought he was just going to go adjacent with it. He finds Lindsay backside. Sorry, Lindley.
Yeah.
Backside. That's hard. Lindsay to Lindley. But we won't speak about this, but the touch by Lindley, because he didn't have much time there, Glenn, as you're going to see here.
Yep.
Lindsay comes high. Nice pick there by James. He goes back door. Look how quick he releases this. Bam.
One motion.
And Schupler was close, so you see how quickly you have to be able to.
With his fifth face-off win of the day. It's 4-3 now.
Record you keep talking about in the first half.
He's on pace to have,
right?
He's on pace to have a shot at it today.
He might. All right, so here we go. Kamish against a short stick. This is a problem. Watch for slides quickly from Army.
Oh, and that leaves wide open for an easy goal right underneath Aiden Olmstead.
Well, as they say, Glenn, the floodgates have opened, which was a really tight defensive battle, has now turned into a high-scoring affair. And you can just tell how nervous people are when Kamish has the ball up top, because he's burnt people week in and week out with the short stick on him. They have two people on him. Miscommunication. Easy conversion there for Aiden Olmstead.
Zonka. It does sound like that should be like a video game villain.
It's like, I got Razanko on me. Move it to the next guy.
Kamish gets it back. Let's clean up a couple of things. Graber's goal, it was his first of the season. And we might not have a chance to clean things up because Evan James is joining a hat trick party.
I'm telling you, Kamish is a real problem up top with the short sticker on him. And you saw it right there. He is so shifty and athletic. He is a definitive issue for Army right now. Again, draws two people. Presence of mind to go back to James. Offside low. That's a difficult one to stop.
Evan James, he's got the hat.
It's easy for the goalie to match stick on stick. To get high, match stick on stick. In some respects, you want Lindley to drop the head of his stick and go low. You just don't have time.
Army's going to finally go to work. What a split. Oh, my word. Bobby Abshire.
A fantastic split, but that's terrible defense by Loyola. And see how quickly a game can flip. You're up 6-3, you have a 2-minute penalty, and Will Sherwood gets beat initially, which you don't fault him. It's going to be hard to stop him up top. Where you fault is the lack of slide there by McGillicuddy. And
Sidon Abshire, he scored the final goal of the first half, and he makes it back-to-back goals and cuts it to a 1-goal game.
Yeah, Abshire seems like he's taking matters into his own hands. You know, it looks like it's an easy dodge against Middleton, but what you'll notice if we see it here on replay is his ability to tack an angle. He gets right into Middleton's hip, and then instead of fading out, he fades in, making it difficult for Middleton to recover. Slide comes too late.
Second of the day, 15th of the season for Abshire. It had been a 6-3 game. Now it's a 1-goal game again. Savio, another face-off win. Moves it forward right underneath Lindley.
Fantastic offense there. Most teams do not play Savio. They're going to lay off him and give him the ability to shoot, meaning the slides are a lot easier. In this case, he passes it over to Olmsted, who does a really unselfish play and puts it down low to Lindley. Now, the nice thing about Lindley is notice how quickly he goes from high to low. Difficult save for shooting.
Looked like and that's knocked down. A chance again for Razanka. Wires gets to it.
That is a unreal if they can hang on.
Oh, boy. No.
That was an unreal ground ball there, though, by Wires. Fabulous. Unfortunately, now, and it goes back to the play by McNulty, clock reset. Now you're playing more defense.
That's right. Been out there for a while.
I mean, Razanka's as tough as they come. He looks like he's bending over. Like he needs gas quick.
Morin gets back to X, working against Sally, gets in front. Yep.
And there you go. I mean, it's you see it time and time again. As I said, whoever wins the middle of the field, and that's decision making, and that poor decision created offense, more offense for Army.
Morin's first of the day, his 15th of the season, and we've got a 1-goal game again with 7:26 to play in the third quarter. Army now trails just 7-6 here on the Patriot League on ESPN.
With the pass backward.
That class acronym.
That does not bode well.
No, they don't like that, right?
I mean, that's a risk.
Celebrating loyalty and achievement for staying in school is what that acronym is for class. It is a honor that's given. It's a well-rounded award recognizing both athletic and academic achievement and leadership. It is an extremely high honor, and both McNulty and Olmsted named candidates for this year's award. Abshire gets free, and Abshire ties us up.
So that's Sally just getting beat up top, looking a little bit slow-footed. And then Hughes shows, but he doesn't go hard and leaves an open alley there for Abshire, who has really picked up the pace for Army.
And he's scored 3 of Army's last 4 goals. He's got
that. Here, he gets beat right away. Actually, that's Middleton. Middleton does not go. Hughes is forced to come in late. And
anything from Scott Middleton that would suggest that he should be that guy.
I was a large red light guy.
So, under a minute and a half, but still about a 20 or so second difference, maybe 25-second difference between shot clock and game clock.
Yeah, the problem there, Higgins won the matchup, but Loyola was down a man.
Kamish gets back out there. Higgins again makes a nice move, and this time finishes.
Big time move. Big time move. You know, what they say, third time's a charm there. That's the third time today he's tried that. I love the fact that he just kept going. I mean, there's a guy that got pummeled in the first half, literally, physically, got pummeled again. He paid the price for glory there, Glenn.
Yeah, he took some high hit late in the first half that led to the penalty.
He's a tough matchup. He really is. He's taking a page out of Patra's book, but
The Loyola men trying to get back to 500 and 4-4 on the season. Army has it first. Start this fourth quarter, but it's poked out by McNulty. Can't get to the ground ball in time. Glenn Clark, Chris Gunkel with you. Patriot League on ESPN.
You know, Loyola got going there, Glenn, at the end of the period with plays in the middle of the field with ground balls, right? McNulty in particular picking everything up off the ground. It's an emotional lift, but then it just creates offensive opportunities for you because the defense then has to deal with transition.
Oh, and Army ties it right back up.
Yeah, he took a page out of Higgins' most recent goal going against Mustang Sally, who looked a little bit flat-footed, almost surprised.
Morin, it's the second off to Abshire. He's been hot, 3 now on the day. Knight's not in a rush. Nick Turn.
Nick Turn gets the matchup he wants.
Middleton.
Going up against Middleton.
Gets in front and scores.
Yeah, that's a matchup you want. Middleton usually used to playing up top. Now he's playing behind. I'm a broken record. You give them another opportunity, like a missed ground ball in the middle of the field, they're going to take advantage of it.
Second of the day for Nick Turn and his 3rd point. It's his 22nd on the season and his 54th point. And Army has their first lead of the contest at 9-8 with 11:57 to play.
With
Nick Turn, 22 seconds on the possession clock. Wires is on him. They're going to try to get a switch. And they will. LeBlanc goes with Nick Turn. Nick Turn fires it.
Hits the post.
Yeah. They're saying it hit the netting. And it's a goal.
And I give Army credit. They have found the matchup and the way to get the matchup they want. And that is with the 2-man game behind the cage with Nick Turn. And they are pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and now starting to see success.
Let's watch again. Try to confirm it.
See, LeBlanc is just late, and Nick Turn is just so adept at being able to rotate his shoulders and hips when he gets topside.
Abbott pointed out they found something with Nick Turn getting that switch and getting him free in front. And so why wouldn't you go back to it? Of course, this time they're not going to go to that. They're going to go with
same play.
Paul Johnson instead.
Same play over and over and over again. And Loyola did not slide on that. They didn't play that well at all. And they have put an immense amount of pressure on Schaefer at the doorstep.
Army has now outscored Loyola 7-2 here in this second half.
So you can see there was some confusion with Mustang Sally. I don't know. You don't know because what the communication was there, but he had his back turned to the player.
Savio is going to take the shot. Well, that's much needed for the Hounds.
Boy, that's a great way to start. The hesitation and then lets it go. If you're a goalie, you're not expecting that from Bailey Savio. If anything, you expect him to be on your doorstep. But great way, great answer by Savio.
So significant in 2 ways. That all again, just switching who runs it, and they get it to Nick Turn. Has Loyola figured out what they need to do here? They get the switch. Oh, and that's a new wrinkle to it. Give them credit.
Loyola is completely befuddled with how to play the 2-man game behind the cage. And to your point, that is a new wrinkle, as it was the classic basketball pick and roll.
Yep. Nick Turn to Burek. Nick Turn's 2nd assist, Burek's 2nd goal today.
As you see, they're so concerned about trying to keep Wires on Nick Turn that Wires pulls off, and he goes almost in front of the cage.
Lindsay skips it up top, fake and fire. Higgins.
I tell you, boy, he has turned himself into a premier shooter from 10 to 12 yards. Great look there, but then Higgins, you'll watch as we see it here in the replay, that hitch move, the fake shot hitch, gets enough separation to really get a clear passageway right here. Pulls the string, bam.
Right to the corner.
Doesn't hesitate. He lets it rip right away.
It's funny feeling, Chris. They might try to run a 2-man game behind the cage.
I think Loyola switched to a zone, though. I think they've seen enough of that. and they've now switched to a zone. Yeah, you saw that last night in that Seton Hall basketball game, right? Near the end, went from man-to-man to zone.
Duke did it to Texas Tech on Thursday night as well.
Just enough disruption in their flow to provide St. Peter's an opportunity to get back in it.
Under 6 minutes to go.
They've switched out of it.
Whew, somehow. I have no idea how Gunnar Phillip managed to get free, but he did. And that one might be the dagger.
Yeah, that might be the dagger there. It's schematically there's a problem, but everything seems to start with there's so much emphasis and attention given to what's going on behind the cage. And here you have Razanka that just is late, right? He thinks somebody's to his right, it looks like. And there's no help risk against a team that
they've been converting on you.
On the inside.
Nick Turn. And they send it up top, and that will just about do it. Burek makes it 14-10.
Yeah, Glenn, unfortunately, I think you are correct. I think that just might do it. And you have a goalie that's probably dazed because he's seeing shots from all angles. Coming around the cage, up top, on the inside. And Nick Turn just does a nice job throwing up top.
He's been a maestro.
Close to Burek, so Loyola was confused.
Loyola had a 2-goal advantage. Again, you go back to how the first half ended, and there's Lindley getting one on the doorstep, so not giving up.
Certainly not giving up. You would never expect a team of Loyola's caliber to do so, but face-offs here are going to be premium. Glenn.
Lindley's got a hat trick after
Loyola
being shut
does
out.
To Army what Army has been doing to Loyola. As they lose Lindley on the interior. Schupler with it. Lindley.
Lindley dove at the right second. Love the effort from both players. Wigan actually lost his helmet in the process. Down to 3 minutes to play, getting free. Good look and a wonderful finish. Higgins.
Well, I tell you, he is a, how Nick Turn and Abshire have been for Army, Higgins and Kamish have been for Loyola, although we haven't heard much from Kamish here in the second half.
That's the third of the day. Higgins joins the
hat tricks in a row for Seth Higgins, who is starting to establish himself as one of the top-tier middies in the Patriot League.
There's time in that large berth, but it seems like that has just about slipped away. Greyhounds brought in Freeman Whitaker to close out the game as they'll lob it downfield and the clock expires. It was an unreal second half offensively for the Army Black Knights. 10 second half goals.
Hey, give them credit. They figured out schematically what would work best for their offense against this defense. It's one thing to do that. It's another thing then to execute. They had Loyola at times, as I say, completely befuddled, which you don't see a lot. And they had the discipline. And sometimes, Glenn, I say discipline, but the smarts to just stick with something that's working. Sometimes you see teams overcoach and go away from that. They didn't. And they were rewarded with a very important victory today.
Well, and they brought new wrinkles to it, right? Yeah. Once it looked like maybe Loyola had a better thought for how to go to it, Army said, all right. They were playing chess at that point offensively in the second half.
Yeah, they really were. And, we talked about winning the battles in the middle of the field. They did so. They had, I don't know the time of possession, but I'm assuming it was much larger than Loyola in the second half. Wears a team down, and that's what you see. You start to see a team that is not as focused as they would like.